Everybody has Kahoot anxiety. Bruno was worried she didn't have enough battery. Lanfranco has issues with his phone.
Yes,
You're okay. You should buy it.
Maybe with my router, because I was in the opposite side of the
Okay,
of
you
the
have
set,
to go
no?
right next to your router so that it'll get you.
That's why I go with
Okay.
Love it. Can you understand us okay, Domenico?
Yep. Loud
Okay.
and clear.
Okay, perfect. Because I don't know who you can see, but there are 4 people. You're not playing today?
I see just you.
It's off the light.
You see just me? Okay.
All the lights.
Let's see. I don't know if I didn't hear from Suzanne yet.
No, but I won't. Also this.
Try. Okay, so.
Okay, so we turn off the lights so that everybody can see better, Domenico.
But do you have a race today too?
Do I have what? Yeah, this is how we are.
So stressing.
I know, it's everybody's anxiety run. See
Stressing.
if I can move this around here. Okay, Domenico's in, he's ready.
Mhm.
You can also use the QR.
Don't leave me alone.
Huh? What?
Don't leave me alone with Kahoot.
No, we're not gonna leave you
Join
alone.
in, join in.
Got others coming. Oh, can you see the
Ah, no, va bene.
Lanfranco? You can change it. Just go out and come back again. I'll wait for you. Don't worry. Oh, I knew Simone would want to come in.
I want my pacifiers.
You want your pacifier.
Okay, Lanfranco.
Okay, Lanfranco's gonna do it again. He doesn't like being Lanfra.
So,
Masma.
my screen is too
I'm here, I'm Asma.
Oh, Simone is Masma.
sensitive.
Okay.
It's my nickname when I play basketball.
Ah, okay.
Sense me.
Rudy.
No,
Like this.
where? No, but the name.
The name.
Still getting set up.
I would like to complete my name. No, this is sorry.
I think you can just sign out and go back
Like,
in.
Okay.
Scelta.
Well, we know who you are.
No problem.
We'll stay Lanfra. Otherwise, we're just gonna start going Lanfra.
Give me 1 sec. Bell is ringing.
Okay, I'm waiting for Bruna. Otherwise, I'll give you my phone if you want.
But we should be talking today.
Today, so I'm not telling you because otherwise you didn't know.
No,
So you didn't prepare.
No, I don't know.
I don't believe you.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
You got your best.
Yes.
No, today is voting in the United States. Something similar.
I'm back.
Number one.
This is just voting. Yeah. Bruna, oh, you
Spoke about the radio.
yeah, we did. We talked about it, especially when we talked about the Bill of Rights and all that stuff. So,
Caroline,
Yeah.
if there is another participant,
if there's someone coming in,
and you can go up with the mouse.
up here,
Okay.
up here,
Okay.
next one.
No.
I don't know where to look.
Adesso ci sei, vedo.
I moved everything there.
No.
Non l'hai mai fatto questo?
Okay.
No. Allora,
You don't use the mouse, you prefer trackpad.
Oh, I guess I use a trackpad because
Okay.
yeah.
But last time it was really surprised.
You were surprised last time?
Yes.
Why?
There was that a surprise that the girl, the young girl,
Suzanne?
was from Trieste.
That was a surprise for you?
Yes, I thought it was a Bolzanina, but in truth,
You thought-
it is impossible to feel someone so prepared, so well done. We don't think anymore. We don't think anymore.
Suzanne we were just talking about you, but we're not gonna tell you all the good things Lanfranco just said because you're just gonna get a big head.
We have lost.
Yeah, everybody was like, if Suzanne shows up, we're fried, man.
No,
I'm here.
First, she speak very well.
Her English is nearly perfect because she has a very
I
good
said
teacher.
now.
Then she knows a lot about the America. She knows a lot about
She knows
America.
everything about America.
No, not
What's that? At Suzanne, install slow down 3000.
But for me,
You know,
it was difficult to
the
understand that a so prepared person was in Bolzano. This is my issue.
That she wasn't from Bolzano? You
I
thought
know,
that only
I know.
prepared people would be from
No, in Bolzano
Bolzano?
it's not possible that there is a person so prepared about America by the English, no? And then everything is matched. Then now everything
That
matches.
makes sense.
All
So,
people
Suzanne,
came from
to
Bolzano.
clarify, Suzanne is not from Bolzano.
No, I'm not.
I came from Florence.
Yeah.
Lives in Trieste.
Suzanne lives in Trieste. Do you want to speak for yourself, Suzanne? Why are you so prepared?
Because I've been attending the Italian American Association since I was 16.
Boom. Well done. Checks in the mail. Checks in the mail.
Suzanne, have you heard what I did? What I said before?
No, I didn't hear you.
It's called.
Have you heard what I said about you before?
No,
I said
didn't.
that you speak very well English and you know a lot of things about America. It was
Thank you.
impossible.
More
it
than
was-
me.
it is difficult to imagine a person so prepared in Bolzano. Then I understood that I understood that you are from Trieste and everything matches now, no? Everything matches.
It's simple because she's studying.
She's studying.
And we not.
Okay, well,
Thank you.
Suzanne, there you go.
It's really well English.
She does. She does. She's very good.
Trieste Bolzano 120.
Yeah, Suzanne, her last name is C.
Hi, Domenico.
Hi, Suzanne.
Susanne
But Domenico
Nice
is
to hear you.
also very
Yeah.
prepared.
Domenico,
Thank you.
He won.
Okay.
who did
Yeah.
Domenico?
I've been part of the AIA in Trieste for years.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about the high level.
It's all about
Did you hear
AIA.
that? Both of them just did a very nice plug for the Italian American Association in Trieste, where I'm the president. So,
Does Domenico live in Bolzano or Trieste?
Domenico, where do
Trieste.
you live?
I'm Trieste.
Trieste.
Oh my God! The same history. The same
It's the
history.
same
We play for the third place.
No match with
No match.
people like this.
Bolzano says
No
they
match.
can't compete against Trieste, but we'll see. We'll see.
Let's see today. Let's see
Already
today.
lost.
The challenge is lost. That's what Bruno says. We'll see.
Florence.
Florence,
But I don't be very.
you know what? You got to believe in yourself, Bruno. You got to believe in
No,
yourself.
I take it easy.
And since I gave you all the answers before, you need, no, I'm just kidding. I'm
Well, sorry,
staying at
no,
Bruno's
no.
house. I
Not
should
saying
have
it.
given Bruno all the
And,
answers to thank
you
her.
must believe
Never
in
spoke about
We forgot.
even about the title, the
No,
issue, the
nothing.
topic of
We were
this.
Nothing.
gossiping the whole time. We forgot to talk about this. Oh, well, okay.
You must believe in yourself with the power of aperitif.
Exactly, exactly. With the power of the aperitivo, we had a drink before. And that's what she didn't. I thought she was going to try to get the answers out of me, and she didn't do it. All right, are we ready to go? Suzanne's in, Bruno's in, Mazman is in, Landru is in, Domenico's in, but we lost you.
Rudy.
Rudy, you gotta check back in. Rudy's in. Here we go. Everybody's ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Remember, we want to go for speed and accuracy, people.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, Rudy, there isn't.
Voting in America.
Rudy, there
There's still time. You can get in. You can get in. The right to vote in public elections is called franchise, suffragette, Frankenfurter, or election fraud. Let me turn off this music.
Yep.
Oh, well done. It's called franchise. I didn't know that.
The number of.
Frankfurt, not sure.
Frankfurter, no.
Yeah, we just need to wait for Rudy to get back in. Yeah, to stay in. Okay. Suzanne started slow, but she'll jump back. She always does that.
Start again because for
No, he'll get in now. He'll get in now.
so
Frankfurter was good.
the
868.
Just waiting for Rudy to come back in. Bruna is in second.
Eccolo qua, il nome, avete il suo nome.
If we finish now, Bruna would be on the podium.
No.
So the
But me
game is
too.
finished.
Yeah, Suzanne will be the very last
I'm
one.
the second after Lanfranco, but it's
Lanfranco,
We
it
can
doesn't
cut here.
count.
I don't consider him. It's over.
Lanfranco's over our head. Bruna's in second.
Franchise.
Domenico's in
It's
third.
another category.
It's another category. Is Rudy in? Rudy, are you in?
Rudy, ok, preparati. Vai.
Ready? Okay, and keep your screen on. Okay,
Okay.
true or false?
4, 3, 2, 1.
George Washington.
No.
Uh-oh.
George Washington spent
Money on alcohol for potential voters. George Washington spent all of his campaign money on alcohol for potential voters. True or false?
Pure luck.
Probably.
Sono i
Hey,
figli.
schiaccia.
Yeah.
Era vero.
Of course it's true. It's such a crazy, I couldn't invent something like that. Oh, we still don't
Magic
have
moment.
Rudy. Why?
Magic moment.
Yeah. Are you in?
Rudy.
No, a posto. sta a
Let
posto.
me enjoy the
Okay,
moment.
let's go first. Okay, just keep your screen on, Jay, because if your screen turns off, sometimes
Yeah.
it eliminates you. All right, next. According to the original US Constitution, voters had to be white, over 21 years of age, male, female. You can choose more than one.
Oh, no. No. No, I already clicked send. No, more than one. No.
It's possible to choose more than one. In fact, female was just a little joke.
White.
You had to be white, over 21 years of age, and of course a man, but
Mhm.
women not allowed.
Did
you get it?
I've been studying at university.
You remember? Okay, so
Finally,
university
I
paid
ask
off.
you if there is a multiple choice because
Yeah. I'll tell you if it's multiple choice. Domenico is on fire. Suzanne got
Okay.
something here. Good. Okay. Mazman is in third on the
He's
foot. Should we finish the game now?
yes.
Bruna's in first. Bruna, game over. Game over. Podium. Here we go. The voting age in the US is now 21. True or false? False. The voting age now?
I
18.
wrong.
It was 21 at the beginning. It was lowered.
Mhm.
Nothing changes. Why is
No,
that?
Lorna was faster.
Yeah. All right. These days, voting rights cannot be denied based on race, sex, sexual orientation, disability. It can be more than one answer is possible. Keep turning on the stupid music.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, you
No.
figured it out. It's true.
Disability.
Disability, all of them. Oh, wait.
What kind of disability?
No, I made a mistake. It should be all of them. Sorry. Bad, Caroline. Very bad. I made a
So
mistake.
everybody got a missed combo.
Yeah, everybody knew that it's.
I want my points.
Yeah, you want your points. I owe you points. Because it should be race, sex, sexual orientation, and disability. Oops.
Uh-huh.
Bad, Caroline.
We know better than Kahoot.
Yeah, you guys know better than Kahoot for sure. Bruna is still in first. Rudy has a streak with 3 correct answers.
Didn't
It didn't give you more.
the race, but I.
Okay, here we go. Citizens must register to vote in every state.
No,
In some, you don't have to. I don't know what they are, but it's,
Really?
yeah. Is that weird?
Okay.
Yeah. It's a strange one, but there are different rules in every state. Most of them
I remember.
You have to register, but someone says,
So,
I remember, but
Okay.
I think that
Okay.
I'm the only one that I wrote.
exactly, the one you got right. I think, oh wait, I put this is the one where you don't have to. What is it? I think it's North Dakota, state of Nebraska. Nebraska is the odd duck.
so it's enough to be a resident.
Yeah, I guess. Isn't that weird? I don't know, you know, you learn the strangest things when you make cahoots about.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Masman has moved up in the rankings. Bruna, Domenica, and Simone, and then we got Suzanne and Lanfra. What's going on? I don't recognize you.
Sbagliato? Perché è sbagliato?
You put true, probably.
No,
True, it's.
It should be false. It was false is correct.
false.
Okay, African Americans were not guaranteed full voting rights before 1965. True or false?
I think I was give the bad answer. That's the question.
But you got it right. African Americans were not guaranteed full voting rights before 1965. True or false?
Okay.
If you know something about American history, you can imagine that African Americans would have been discriminated against.
Mhm.
Who's with us? Bruna's like still #1. It's rigged. You should check the voting machines. There's something going on.
Thank you for the truth.
The following were used to block African Americans from voting. It's multiple, you can use more than one. Poll taxes, literacy tests, grandfather clauses, threats, and violence. Which of these were used to block African Americans? Yeah, you can use more than one.
Okay.
Actually, it's all of them. All of them.
What is grandfather clauses?
Oh, it's the next question is what it is. Domenico.
Okay.
I don't answer this.
Huh?
Tests.
It's to make sure that you know how to read. If you can't, like a literacy test would be, I say, to vote, you must read this text. And if you can't read, you can't vote. Poll taxes are when you have to pay at the polling site. Grandfather clauses, I don't know. And threats to violence.
Grandfather clause, I don't know what it is.
You don't know what it is? Good. Then I have the perfect next question for you. Masman has the highest answer streak of 3, but we're on question 8. Well, okay, we'll take it. Suzanne has moved up onto the podium. She's in
Yeah,
3rd place. Good job, Suzanne.
thank you.
The fake Bolzanese, Bolzanina. You're not Bolzanese?
No, Bolzanini.
Bolzanina.
Come Cristina.
Right, okay, it's the same. Okay, here we go. Domenico's in front. Bruno, what happened?
Yeah.
All these.
I didn't understand the literacy because only later I understood that it was about the ability, the capacity to yes.
Because to be literate means you can read, and to be illiterate means you cannot read. Oh, good. It's getting interesting, this game. It's getting interesting. What is a grandfather clause?
Oh, thank you for explaining it.
If your grandfather voted, so can you, or an old voting song? You all got it right anyway. Yeah, so a grandfather clause was a very good way to block African Americans from voting because if you were descended from slaves, that means that your grandparents, when they were, enslaved, they could not vote. So that meant you couldn't vote. Very clever, but
I don't know if it's clever or more stupid.
Well, I think it was mean and cruel and horrible.
Yeah, I know, but you could simply pass a law saying that if you are black, you are not allowed to vote. So this grandfather clause seems to me a complicated way just to avoid saying you're black, you do not vote.
Right, which we still have today, by the way, right? So this is part of, you know, the Jim
Really?
Crow laws, right? These are all the laws that came up after slavery was forbidden
Mhm.
okay, but it's not, you know, it was a clever way of not coming out and saying it's a racist law, right? Because-
Okay. So they had to invent these clause to circumvent some kind of restrictions. Okay.
Exactly, because the Supreme Court said, well, you can't discriminate against people for color, but
Okay.
you could if they're, you know, so it's just a way of getting around, which was what the Jim Crow laws did, is they were just meant to not give people their full rights.
Father wasn't enough.
Exactly, father wasn't enough. Oh, because then, you know, you want it to last a while, right?
Then great-grandfather, great-great-grandfather, and so on.
Exactly. Well, we still use the term grandfather clause, for example. This is different than your system, but our retirement system, okay, so when you stop working and you start taking your pension, we have a grandfather clause, which just means prior. So for example, right now, if when I retire, I think my my retirement age is 2000, or no, I have to be 67 years old, I believe, okay? Now, later, if they decide to make the age 68, I am grandfathered in. That means that I still will be able to retire at age 67. Okay, so now we use grandfather clause to say that, okay, since it was decided for your age group, that means it will not change for you.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Okay,
Yeah.
so I actually learned today what the grandfather, I didn't know the origins of it, but it's the original grandfather clause is exactly that. Okay, from trying to get people not to vote.
Yeah, we have more or less the same for the pension system here.
1964, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. brought a group of voters to Selma, Alabama to register to vote. True or false?
It's plausible. Let's see.
Is it possible?
Yeah.
It's true. I wouldn't invent something like that. Now, the problem with it is that they were turned away. They were not allowed to register to vote. Because if you look at the date, 1964 was still the year before there was guaranteed full guarantee to vote. And the reason why, can you imagine why they were turned away at this point? It was one of those 4 reasons. What were the 4 reasons? One was illiteracy test, one was
violence.
violence or threat, probably, but yeah, that's one of them, probably. Another one? Do you remember the
The
one?
grandfather.
Not the grandfather clause.
No.
It's the poll tax.
Good.
Okay.
So that was the reason that was cited. That doesn't mean there weren't other reasons, but that particular reason was highlighted. In fact, this is what started a protest against, in particular, the poll tax.
Okay.
Domenico is on fire. 4 players are
Don't
hitting
say
an
too loud.
answer streak of 4. That means it's too easy. It's too easy. I'm going to make it more difficult next time. Protests against poll taxes, okay? They were turned away, like I said, leading to protests against poll taxes that eventually led to the Voting Rights Act in 1965. Who was the president in 1965, Lanfranco?
Johnson.
Johnson.
The second voting right, the second voting right act.
The second Voting Rights Act, right? Because this is the one that said, okay, everything we didn't cover
There's
before.
another that has something so,
Right.
but not so big, but
Not so big, right? Lanfranco is back on the podium. Women were denied the vote until 1888, 1920, 1945, 1935. This one has one answer.
Let's see. Okay.
1920. Well done. But I think in Italy it was what, after the war, right?
Yeah, 1946.
1946. I tried to trick you. I should have put 1946. I tried. Oh, well, close enough.
Okay.
Domenico's still in. Suzanne
Yeah.
is up. Lanfranco has moved up. We knew it would happen. Sooner or later. Bruna, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bruna has a sad birdie face.
Yeah.
Simone is pacifier, is consoling himself.
Yeah, yeah, my pacifier.
Your pacifier to keep you satisfied. Okay, prior to 1920, women could vote in select states. True or false? Meaning some states.
Wow.
Yep. Yep. No.
It was true. In some states you could. I don't know which ones they were. Maybe Lanfranco knows.
I don't know.
I don't know what
I
the
remember
opinion-
something about, but not which state.
Yeah, so the only thing in 1920 it became a federal law, right? But before that,
But you could
Some
vote for
states-
the local government or for the federal government?
no, it's before the select states just means that in those states you could question
Only the state.
maybe state elections,
federal.
probably
Yeah,
state,
state
but not
elections.
federal.
Okay.
Makes sense, right?
Mhm.
But I don't know which ones. Although I think I know maybe the states that allowed them, if I'm not mistaken, were in the east, and I think it was Maine, Vermont, and something else. But I'm not certain of that. I would have to
In
check.
1920 or 1918, in Italy, we had the first general voting for men.
Really?
For men, only for men, the first time.
Really?
In 1918.
1918. Interesting.
Only for men, it was this first time.
Okay.
Before the war, we had a poll tax before the war.
Oh,
Before World War
really?
One,
Okay.
we had a poll
Yeah, this is
tax.
something I realize I'm completely ignorant about Italian history. I didn't do scuola media here.
Well, we had at the beginning of Italy. We
You're
had
learning
a
now.
big- at the beginning of the speech of the Italy, of the King of Italy, we had a big poll tax. Then always
okay.
lower in 1920 without.
Then you had a sale
For men, other.
for men, but just for men.
And then we
Suzanne,
had
what
the
did you wanna say?
dictatorships. So
No, I'm saying that you're learning now. Don't
I
worry.
know, thank you. This is why I should, I teach, but really I learn more than I teach. I have to tell you that. Okay, next. Oops, where's my? Lanfranco on fire, Domenico in second. Bruna's moved back onto the podium. Suzanne, come on,
No.
girl. Sad face. Look at your face. Ooh,
Yeah.
so sad. And Mazo. All right. What month are federal elections held? January, February, November, May.
Yeah.
Well done. Did you see the answer? If you looked, you would have seen the 11 right
I
there.
didn't see that.
You know, precisely.
Precisely, yeah.
Precisely. The first Tuesday that follow the first Monday of November.
Funny you should say that, Lanfranco.
Because if
first
Monday the
Thursday?
first is Tuesday, you can't. It is not a voting day. The first Tuesday that follow the first Monday.
okay, so the first Thursday of a full week. Okay.
Wait, I want to just blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's the first Tuesday after the first Monday of November. True or false?
No,
You
wait,
should've
whoa,
just-
I thought
You spoke
Thank
too
you.
soon.
Thank you.
Lanfranco gave it away. He's worse than me. I give you answers, but he's even better at it. It's true. It's the first Tuesday after the first Monday of November. Just like Thanksgiving was the fourth Thursday of
Thursday.
November, right? We always have these, first Monday of
That's okay.
Lanfranco still in first, Domenico, Bruna, Suzanne, and Simone. Lanfranco has the highest answer streak of 8. Surprise, surprise. Fun fact, in 1845, Congress decided that voting day would be the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November, which was after the fall harvest and before winter conditions made travel too difficult. which I did not know.
Before harvest and before winter conditions, my travel to difficult, of course.
Right.
Like Frank said.
There you go. Like he said, right? Specifics of elections differ state by state. True or false? There's the best state right there. Best state right there. You can hear the clock ticking along with it. Yes, it's true. Like everything in America, unless it's specific in the Constitution, the different states have a lot of space to make their own rules. Okay, 9 correct in a row. Basta. Enough, Lanfranco, enough. Domenico Bruna, oh my goodness, nothing's changed. Except for the space between you all. A or an ballot allows you to vote from home. Special, home, VIP, or absentee. It's an special, it's an absentee ballot. I like the idea of having a VIP ballot for me because I do absentee. It's also, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Very important personnel.
Before speaking about the voting day, it is more interesting to know why the English people in England, they vote on Thursday.
They vote on Thursday. Why?
Because in the weekend they are too drunk.
Oh, really?
No, really, this is real.
Really? Well, why ours is on Tuesday, probably for the same reason, I can imagine. So the absentee ballot, though, just to give you a little more information, when I first moved to Trieste from America, I registered to vote because my state, you have to register, say that you're abroad, say what your plan is. Are you coming back? Are you planning to stay abroad? And so I registered for my absentee ballot and it arrived. So this was 20 years ago, but I remember it arrived and I brought it to my English class to show my students. I don't think Domenico was one of them, but it could have been Domenico because it was at your place of work. And I brought this envelope and I'm like, let's see what it looks like because I thought it'd be fun to show my students. It was a big envelope like this, like an A4 size, a brown envelope, manila envelope. I opened it up and inside was a long, thin piece of paper with the different candidates. It was maybe it was a primary or something for president and a small like IKEA pencil, but it wasn't IKEA, it was like a golf pencil. And my Italian students laughed out loud. They said, oh, perfect. Now you'll send it and they'll just erase it. The Italian students, but they were my English students, said they laughed. They thought that was so funny that it would be a pencil. Yeah, because for them, they said, well, it's obvious that the person who receives it has a giant, eraser and they're just going to cancel what you wrote, But the reason they used pencil was because these were these old machines that read pencil.
But we use till now in the label pencils.
Oh, really? Okay. And now they let you do it. The last time I voted, it was actually online. The time before that, so not that long ago, it was still you could push a button online, but then it was a PDF that you had to sign and send it. So it's still very old-fashioned, actually.
Yeah, but using a pencil, what were they thinking? That we do not have pencils here in Italy?
Maybe, they just wanted to make it easier. I appreciate that.
Okay, like IKEA that pre-pack the brugola.
No,
exactly.
It is the same reason because we, in our ballot booths, have to use only fair in the label pencil.
Oh, they have their own.
We can't use ours.
You can't bring your own pencil.
In the label pencil for security, For security. It is the same reason,
So that nobody can erase it.
Did you have to return the pencil?
Good question, but I kept the pencil. I still have it. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what I did with the pencil, but that's a good. But it wasn't good. And it's like when you break a pencil, it only comes up to here. Like you can't do anything with that. At least give me a good pencil with an eraser. No. It's like,
Must spend the money.
Donkey. no, that's when you do the VIP ballot. The VIP ballot has a long. Right. All right. Oh, Suzanne has moved back up into this third. Husband is on fire with that little pacifier. Such a cute little tiger, baby tiger. And now you're awake again. All right, Suzanne's in third. Where's Domenico's in second? Lamfredo's in first. In most states, convicted felons lose the right to vote. True or false? Oops.
Va?
Penso.
Dai, dove vuoi? Dove vuoi? Qui? Sì. Vedi, forse più.
It's true. You know that a felon is a person who has committed a felony. So a felony is something you've done that at the countrywide, at the federal level. Okay. So if you get arrested for parking your car wrong or not paying your parking tickets, that's not going to get you. You're not going to lose your right to vote.
Italy, people with life sentence can't.
Right.
Life sentence.
Life sentences.
But
Life
it can be candidate.
Oh, they can be a candidate. I love that.
Absolutely.
Good to keep in mind.
The story.
Really?
And are voted.
And
Go
voting
Trump,
people vote
go.
for them. Well,
Was the right to vote forever.
well, good question. In some states, you lose the right to vote forever, in other states not. And it's changing. For example, in Florida. Huh?
Forever. For life sentence, okay, in Italy too, okay.
No, in America, if you are a convicted felon in certain states, that precludes you.
Definitive.
In certain states. It's changing though. In the past, it was for life in many states. Now, for example, they changed it, I think in Florida, maybe.
Yeah.
Was that what it is? I can't remember. Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember that they are changing.
So, but what the problem is if this is another way of continuing to block African Americans because because of systemic racism, Black people have a higher proportion of people
Convicted, yeah.
in serving sentences, etc. So this is another way that you can block people of color without saying you're blocking people of color.
It's difficult to say that is because in Italy, life sentence, people with life sentence who lose a right to vote. If you say in the past, till now, maybe the majority come from South Italy. It is a discrimination.
Oh, so discrimination of Southern.
I don't think.
Well,
but
it depends on
if you go in the jail of Bolzano, 80% are foreigner.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think in America it's definitely racist because our American prison system is very, very, very much disproportionately Black, let's say, or people of color, and the types of. To give you an example, for example, even the same charge, if you had in the past, let's say in the 80s, when they had a drug charge, for example, drugs are a felony. Powder cocaine, preferred by white people, lesser charge. Crack, more used by Black people, higher charge. So a lot of times, even the rules themselves have an inherent racism to them. So this is one of the reasons that people are trying to overturn this tendency to try to even things out. But here we go. Anything change here? No.
No.
Presidential elections are decided by popular vote. True or false? False. As you know, there's an electoral college for the president, right? So the different states have a certain number of votes, goes to the electoral college, so it's not direct. So,
because America is not a nation, it's a federation.
Right.
People that have forgot it, no? Forgot the people. It's
Right.
a federation, not a nation. In some way,
the popular vote decides the president election.
Sometimes it should, but it doesn't always.
Because the popular vote decide which
Which states?
Which party wins, so which party wins, so the state, the vote of the number of the votes of the state gives to the Democratic or Republican candidates.
Most of the time, not every time. Hillary, wasn't it Hillary? Didn't Hillary win the popular vote?
Yeah.
Last
Hillary
time,
Clinton got more votes than Trump.
Biden.
Yeah.
Biden was, no, the
No, Biden was the most voted in the US history, if I'm not wrong.
Could be.
Yeah.
no, Biden, no. Which is the question?
No, I said, I think Hillary Clinton
Hillary Clinton won the
won
Yeah.
the popular vote,
Hillary
but lost the presidential.
Al Gore.
Mhm.
Al Gore with George,
Really?
with George Bush Jr.
Really?
No,
Yes,
We should
because
be-
there is, I remember there is the vote in Florida
Mhm.
that George Bush
Yeah.
used for 100 votes.
Oh, there was with the hanging chads. I remember that. Okay.
Yeah, the judge
but
decided.
for sure,
I remember that. It was like
for sure,
recounting it.
Hillary
Hillary won, but
and Biden won for sure.
okay. The other ones. Okay. Here we go.
No, it's the same.
Gerrymandering.
Oh my God.
Gerrymandering, political manipulation of electoral district boundaries, fair voting process. Politicians pick their voters. Voters pick their, yes, multiple. Voters pick their politicians. More than one answer possible.
Yeah, I got it.
Well done, Domenico.
Ma che cazzo è stato su?
I read an article about gerrymandering some months ago.
Did you? So you knew about it. Yeah, so this time I didn't do all of them.
Sorry, what does it mean? Politicians pick their voters.
Political, because this is a quote that comes up. Well, because basically what happens is,
For the political manipulation of electoral district boundaries.
Yes.
That is true. That is true. This is gerrymandering.
yeah,
What
well,
is that?
because gerrymandering is when politicians get together. Well, every 10 years, the election districts change because of the census,
About the census.
right? Because of the number of people, et cetera. But there's also that politicians want to change the voting maps to make sure.
Want to change their constituencies.
Right, because they want to have more power.
Would like
So-
to change,
Yeah.
more black or more white.
Exactly. So there was a quote that said, this is a good way for politicians to pick their voters instead of voters picking their politicians.
So they
Okay,
can win a direct competition.
exactly.
Who was the guy gerrymander?
Lanfranco, is he still in first? He's very angry.
Yeah, I'm the first. Yeah, I got
He's
it.
using Italian bad
Thank
words.
gerrymander.
Otherwise it was too easy for you guys. Too easy or too smart, too prepared, especially the Triestini.
We are too high in scores.
In 2023, a voting machine company won a lawsuit against Fox News. Oh, you guys are brilliant. Do you know what the name of the company was?
No.
It's called Dominion. Let's see if I put anything in there about that. Fox News, promotes stolen elections. Fox News agreed to pay Dominion Voting Systems nearly $800 million.
800 million.
Yeah, to avert a trial in the voting machine company's lawsuit that would have exposed how the network promoted lies about the 2020 presidential election
What means alert?
to avoid or to change, to avoid a trial, right? So basically because Trump wanted to promote the idea that he really won the election.
Mhm.
And he had a lot of help in this. He had a lot of people helping him, including Fox News, because Fox News is Rupert Murdoch's, giant company saying, well, you know what, people actually like this stuff. So they did it for ratings. They did it to get higher ratings, get more people watching it. And so even though the journalists who work for Fox News were saying, this is crazy, this isn't real, even if they're right leaning, they weren't necessarily very happy about this stance, but they were sort of forced to continue. So one of the arguments was that these voting machines were just crap, they weren't counting correctly, whatever. But Dominion, the voting machine company, actually went and did in fact there's still some lawsuits against them. It's not completely finished, but they almost bankrupted Fox because they lost, and that was the idea. So if you notice that now, Murdoch is not he gave everything to his son. Now they've changed kind of the way they do things, and also their most famous journalists, or personalities, I could say, more than journalists in this case. I can't remember his name now. What's his name? I can see his horrible face. Tucker Carlson was sent away, one of their most popular people, but he was the one who was kind of pushing it the most. So that actually happened.
Almost bankrupted Fox News. They should have asked for more.
Yeah.
Could have solved the problem down there.
They should have invested more. All right, the number of anti-voter bills introduced in 48 states in recent years: 10, 25, 50, 400.
Oh.
400. So these are laws that are meant to suppress certain groups of voters. So it still happens.
What do you mean for recent years? 10 years, 5 years, 100
well,
years?
I'm thinking it's in the last 5 years actually, but it's, I don't know.
Yeah, but 400.
400.
Your politicians are all the time trying to avoid people voting. So 400, it's a huge number.
Yeah, it's true. There's a lot happening with voter suppression, especially in the last election.
Yeah, really cherry picking the voters.
What?
Cherry picking the voters.
Politicians choose the voters instead of voters choosing. There apparently are many people who are more interested in having less people vote than more people vote.
Yeah.
For example, I can give you an example. Even on I told you that I'm an absentee voter. I can tell you that when Democrats are doing things, Democrats love to make it easier for people like me to vote, but who are abroad, but not in the military. Okay.
Not there.
And Republicans like to make it difficult for me to vote, but easier for the military.
Yeah, okay.
So when there's different presidents, it changes.
The big problem of the American voting system, if there is not a general request of ID card. This is mandatory to have a clear election.
But
general request
this
of ID
is
card.
Well, the ID card is also not every state has the same ID card, and not everyone has an ID card. It's not like here.
In Italy, it's not possible to vote without. It's not possible at all in Italy, but in every.
Well, if you have a birth certificate, you can vote. For example, there are different forms of ID that are acceptable.
There are different, but the only state, the only nation without request of ID card was Britain. But it changes this year.
Right.
Now it's mandatory for all Britain.
Yeah.
But from this year.
Not in America, we don't have a general ID card. You normally use
something similar or something similar.
If they introduced an ID card that all Americans could have that was free, that would make sense. But they don't have that. Instead, the ID card in America, what is the ID card that we use in America? It's a driver's license.
But driver's license already works.
Yeah, but many people don't.
ID card.
But if you don't have it, so that's fine. I have a driver's license. I can do everything. If you don't drive,
But in Italy, without ID card, I can't get my letter in the post office. I can't get my letter in the post office. Finished.
In America, you have to have a valid form of ID, and there are different valid forms of ID, including a birth certificate.
But with photo, no? But it is possible. It's necessary to have a photo.
It depends.
Depends on photo.
A social security number.
Without this system, you will always have problem with to count the votes.
But
Even with the Democrats and with the
Right.
but Americans are not Italians.
The system is
It's a different system, and we don't have a national.
the time
People for different minds.
in the time of JFK, we had problems with counting votes, big problems. And there are still now rumors that he stole the election because they voted without ID in a strange system. And always.
Right. It will probably always be a contentious debate because there's not a national.
In Italy, it's not the system.
Also,
Without the ID card, you can't get a letter from the post office. A normal letter.
What a pain. I know.
Okay.
I hate that.
in Italy, Berlusconi said last time when Ronnie Briggs he makes
He makes what?
ricontare.
Oh, to recount or recount.
Counts also for Italians because he thinks that
You cheated.
yes.
What happened? Suzanne.
Suzanne.
We are back to the normal.
Suzanne.
Because I got the last one right. So
You got the last one right.
Yes.
Okay, here we
On
go.
the top is my dream.
Well, yeah, Bruna is the president of your fan club.
I am represented by Suzanne.
Yeah, well done. Targets of anti-voter bills. People of color, elderly, disabled, students, more than one.
This is it is a ridiculous question, this one.
Let's see. Bloody hell. All four?
All four. Why? Because absentee ballots, because of the elderly, disabled. People of color, why? One way that they do it is they remove voting sites from Black neighborhoods, for example. That was done. I'm not going to tell me it's ridiculous. It's happened. Okay. And students is also because of absentee voting, also voters, where you can vote, right, where you register. If you're an out-of-state student and you register in that, a different state. So this is what's been happening.
And why elderly people? Why elderly?
I don't know. Well, elderly people because like people like my mother hasn't voted in person in 20 years because she has a hard time with mobility. Why? Good question.
Is a rubber.
So it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
My screen doesn't work.
Barriers to voting, strict ID laws, criminalization at voting sites, purging voter rolls, removing voter sites. There's multiple answers are possible. All the above. Criminalization at voting sites. That would be, and it happened in Georgia, I think, recently, where obviously one of the things that you can do if you want people to vote less is you can make less places available to vote, okay? So if you take away voting places in certain areas, that means that there's a longer line to wait, and that's a barrier, right? If I have to wait 4 hours to vote, that's a barrier, okay? So what happens, a criminalization of voting site, an example is there are states, and Georgia comes to mind, where they made it illegal to sell water and food to the people who are in line. So that means that, you could get arrested for drinking water that someone sold, just the stupidest thing, just to keep people.
No, it's not really so. It's not really so.
Tell me.
It was illegal for people of the party to deliver for a people of a part because it is seen like like an advert.
An advertisement.
Like if I am a Republican, I can't go to in front of the poll station to deliver food or everything else. Of course, has to be forbidden. But if I were a polling station employee, I can go out and deliver everywhere the water. It is not because in Italy too. If you go to a poll station, it's not allowed to go out outside of the poll station to sponsor one candidate or another some way before the election. In Italy, it's completely forbidden. No, it is the same kind of thing.
Right, but the white neighborhoods did not have lines. Because the white neighborhoods have more voting sites. So
that's I don't know.
Well, I can tell you, I got this from the when we put our links together, we'll take a look. This is from the ACLU website, America Civil Liberties Union, and it's considered so as a barrier to voting. Okay. Domenico, what happened?
I got all four.
Second, Domenico.
This time you didn't trick me, so I picked all four.
You knew all four. Well, I didn't trick you this time. You knew. In 2020, a question was added to the census to suppress voting of minorities.
Let's see. Okay.
What was it? What was the question?
This is difficult because I push it through.
Okay.
Considering the logic of the system.
Sure.
The issue was that in the census of 2020, the Trump government want to add in the census the question about the citizenship. Are you citizen? Are you not citizen? This is the issue. And the Supreme Court said it is too late to add this question.
Right. And it was actually taken up. Why? Because the census is supposed to count the number of people. It doesn't say to count the number of citizens. Okay, so in representation for each state, for like even the electoral college, it's based on the population of that state. It's not based on the number of citizens.
This is because considering the population of the state, you have the representatives, no?
Right.
And changing if you consider only the citizen, the population shrinks, no? But this is a complex issue because the Supreme Court said simply it is too late to consider.
They considered, they didn't want to consider basically, right? But
it was not the first time. For many times, in the census there was the citizen question. For many times, you had in the 50s, in the 40s, in the 30s, I don't know. No.
Bruno, you are too fast.
Voter suppression continues to threaten democracy. True or false?
Don't let them silence you. Okay.
All right, who's on the podium?
First time ever.
It didn't
Thank
do the
you.
countdown.
Yeah.
Well done. First, Domenico, what's your secret?
Pure lucky today.
Your luck. I think it's because you just know how I ask questions. Lanfranco, we know it's because he studies, because he knows, because he lived it. And Suzanne, what's your secret?
Just reading and
And just not living in Bolzano.
Not living in this is important.
Participating to the IA activities.
I made a mess with gerrymandering.
Gerrymandering.
I didn't know perfectly what it is, but
you went for it. Good. Awesome. Let me just stop sharing for a second. So next week, I'm in person again. Are you guys going to be with us, Trieste? Are you going to be here representing?
Yeah.
Perfect. It's our last meeting next week, I think.
Yes.
It's our last one. Domenico, are you with us?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right. Well, we'll say goodbye then. Say
Bye.
bye. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you for